All right, good to go. How are you?
Your biggest winning margin by far, but how pleasing was it the way that came about?
Yeah, it was great. To play that style, they're a really strong defensive team and have been for a while now, albeit inexperienced. But to be able to post a 100-point game again, to be able to do that against what is a really good defensive system, is really pleasing. But to me, it was our defence that pleased me the most. Restricted them to only 11 shots at goal for the game. Was we haven't done that too many times. So we'll try and use that to build on our season. And that's the team that we want to be. Real hard to score against. And tonight we were.
And how important was it to get the back-to-back victories, the first time in your tenure, but also first time since 2021 Giants?
Yeah, it's great. And in order for us to be a good team, you've got to be able to string wins together. And so we haven't done that for a little while now. But that's all well and good. 6 and 8 leading into the bye. Strung a couple of really good games together, but we'll enjoy our break, and then we've got a big challenge against Melbourne over in Alice Springs. So we turn our attention to that after tonight.
What do you make of that midfield battle? Obviously, Kelly was unbelievable.
Yep.
Neilio, Green when he was in there.
Yeah.
Tom Green as well.
So well, ultimately they really drove us forward and had an enormous say in the result of the game. They they were up against Fremantle, who the last month have been the best centre bounce clearance team in the comp. So I think we went +10 in there, got the ball going our way. Defensively really strong, were able to pin them in and create front half turnovers if we didn't score. So, we'd love to be able to do that every week. It was just one of those games where it felt like it clicked and we were able to get the game our way.
Is Cornelio relishing, I guess, not having that burden of the captaincy this year? He looks to be back in that vintage. Yeah,
well, I don't know if that's the reason. I think he's just had a really good summer, working on his game. And he's got a bit of freedom on the inside to make mistakes, and if you're making mistakes through positive actions, that's okay. So I think he feels like he can have a real go, and we certainly encourage that. But I think I don't know if it's been to the same level in the past, but his ability to pressure the opposition, I think, is really critical for us and really critical to his game. And I think he was outstanding at that tonight.
And career best night for Jake Riccardi. How important is his performance, especially with Jesse Hogan being laid out as well?
Yeah, that's right. And so we needed someone to step up in Jesse's absence, and Jesse's been really strong for us across the first 13 games. So, like Ricker, you can just see when he's launching at the ball, he's really hard to play on, and he will compete. He doesn't always mark them, but that's okay. And he creates our little guys opportunities. Bedford and O'Halloran at the deck to really scramble on those loose balls, because Ricker or Keefe tonight or Aaron Cadman have competed and brought the ball to ground. And so that's what those guys need to pride themselves on. And the 5 goals that Ricker kicked tonight is really icing on the cake of his competitiveness and his work rate.
Jesse be good to go after the bye?
I would expect he will be. Yeah. So he had very minor calf soreness in the lead up. We thought we'd give him up until the game to be able to improve. Ultimately, just missed out, and we weren't prepared to risk any further damage to it. So we decided to bring Aaron in.
You got some handy forward depth, don't you? Bringing in a number 1 draft pick is laid in, then Wade Ferguson kicking 4 in the VFL today. Yeah, so the VFL had a really, really good game as well. A strong win against Southport, and I feel like our forwards' depth. I think we've got really strong key forward depth on our list. Wade had a good game. Max Gruszewski's been in really good form also. So it's an area that we feel comfortable bringing it in. But again, Jesse's a really good player, and we prefer him to play than not. So I think it'll be fine for Melbourne.
Just on Jake, so he was dropped early in the season and has to work his way back. What's your message been to him to deliver the sort of form that he's shown over the last 3 weeks?
I think So Lades is Jeremy Laidler is the forwards coach. He's been just encouraging him to launch at the ball because when he launches at the ball, he looks like a big, strong, powerful key forward. It's the moments where he doesn't that potentially cause him and us issues. So I think if you look at particularly the last 3 games, he's been really strong in that area of his game, and I think the result of that is he's been able to hit the scoreboard, but we've been able to hit the scoreboard. I don't think there's any coincidence that we've been able to kick over 100 points the last 3 weeks in a row when our key forwards are launching and competing in the air.
And obviously Briggs helps a lot, another big game from him. Does he take it upon himself to be a bit of a bully, if you like, in there? Is that the message to him? Because it looked today like he just did as he pleased.
Yeah, look, we encourage him to play to his strengths. And one of his strengths is his mobility and his ability to follow up the hit out, aside from grabbing it out of the ruck and booting it forward. So, he's playing to his strengths, and that's what we encourage him to do. And he's got a lot of strengths that really complement our midfield. So, he's been fantastic. I'm sure he'll enjoy the week off. He's, it's a pretty combative position, the ruck position. He's been competing against some reasonable ruckmen. So, he'll enjoy the week off and get set for Gawn and Grundy.
How happy were you with the team's ability to generate forward half turnovers, and it led to almost 7 sort of 50s? It's sort of the game not to play.
Yeah, it is. And, I think we've been quite strong at that, particularly the last 3 weeks. And again tonight, we created a lot of opportunities and we scored 8 goals from front half turnovers. So, that's a great return, great reward for playing a system that encourages front half turnover. And, I think we've been really strong, as I said, in that area of the game for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
You touched on it a bit before, but does this feel like the performance you've been building up to? You've said a lot through earlier in the season that you've been as close to what you need to be.
Yep.
Is this that game?
Well, it feels like it. I mean, it felt like everything sort of worked how we'd like it to. But again, that's 1 week. We celebrate the win and we move on to Melbourne. And, they'll present different challenges to us. They're obviously a fantastic team. So it's going to be a tough battle against those guys. But we'll prepare well after the bye and look forward to being challenged by one of the best teams in the comp.
And how important, I guess, was Sam Taylor coming back inside? You touched on how important defence was, and how important was he to that?
Oh, really important. He's critical part of our defence, all Australian fullback, obviously, so he's a terrific player. But I think the way that both him and Jack Buckley worked together was really strong. They got really good key forwards in Tracy and Amiss. And I felt like our boys, every time the ball was kicked to them, they got a big spoil in. Some of those spoils just to clear the area. Not only is it able to minimise the damage of their big men, it minimises the damage of their little men too. And they've got some really dangerous small forwards. But if the ball's constantly being punched back over their heads, it means it's harder for them to impact also. So, I thought their spoiling both those two was a key feature of their game.
How's Nick Haynes? Understand he rolled his ankle with it?
Yeah, I think it's only very minor. It was minor. There was maybe 15 minutes left in the game, and I just thought maybe instead of risking further damage, we'll just sub him. So that was the reasoning behind that.
And Lockie Whitfield, you had a concussion test, I believe, that managed to pass.
Yeah, he was fine. Yep.
Fine. And he was involved in on the other side of a tackle, and I think it was in the second term, just before half time. Any concerns there with what's happened?
I don't know. I haven't looked at it. So, it'll play out the way it'll play out.
Some of the guys that are coming, does he come straight back in, or the way you're playing, might he have to wait another week or two in the VFL?
Yeah, he might have to wait. He played really well today. He was one of our best players. So he certainly played his way into contention. So we'll assess that, after the bye and see what's our best team look like. Is he a part of that? Is he back? Is he wing? He played a lot of wing today. It's hard to know, but he's a very good player for us. So I think he probably finds his way back in, but we'll see.
Thanks, guys.
Very good.